Sagittarius, I need to say this slowly and clearly, because what's happening around you is not ordinary at all. There is someone within your energy field, someone moving dangerously close to a life-threatening situation. And the strangest part is, they have no idea it's happening. But you, a Sagittarius guided by Jupiter, you felt this long before the signs became visible. Don't leave this video, because the truth I'm about to share may stop a collapse, and may even save a soul that has been tied to yours for a very long time. In the next 30 minutes, I will show you who is facing danger, why the universe chose you to hold the key, and the hidden astrological signals rising inside your chart. This isn't just a warning, this is a threshold of awakening, one that brings you closer to your true destiny. And if you feel these words landing inside your chest, if something in you whispers, "This is for me," then comment right now, "I am ready to embrace my great destiny." Because that simple sentence opens a doorway of energy, a place where Sagittarius is protected, guided, and given the strength to see what others cannot see. Sagittarius, before we move deeper into the layers surrounding you, I want you to take one slow breath, just one, to let your heart open, to let your mind quiet down, and to let your intuition start speaking where logic usually interferes. Because what I'm about to tell you today does not come only from the chart or from the cold calculations of astrological technique. It comes from more than 20 years of watching Sagittarius souls who can hear signals that others ignore, souls who sense the truth long before it has a face. I always tell my students this: a Sagittarius's uneasiness is never just a feeling. It is not overthinking. It is not weakness. When a Sagittarius feels something is wrong, that is Jupiter speaking. And if you've been feeling uneasy these past few days, you are not imagining it. It's a transmission, a clear one you cannot afford to overlook, even if you try. Ordinary people analyze, sensitive people absorb, but Sagittarius sees the essence. You feel the storm while the sky is still calm. You hear the calling when others hear only silence. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is moving into a tense square with Neptune in the 12th house. And if you understand astrology on a deeper level, you know this is not a gentle configuration. This is when intuition lights up secrets, when hidden truths start rising to the surface. The 12th house is the vault that holds everything unspoken, quiet fears, unseen threats, and the emotional shadows that the soul senses long before the mind catches up. When Neptune casts its fog over the 12th house, and Jupiter activates the spiritual clarity of Sagittarius, you receive warnings that no one else receives. Not because you're paranoid, but because your soul was chosen to hear them. I've met many people in this lifetime, and one thing has never changed. Sagittarius is always the first to sense the truth before it unfolds. You hear the small crack inside someone's heart before they break. You feel the wave coming, even when the ocean looks still. You see the darkness in someone's eyes, even when they're trying hard to smile. And when I look at your chart this week, the signal is unmistakable. It's rising, loud, urgent, and it is not meant for the masses. It is meant for you, a Sagittarius whose intuition has been sharpened precisely for this moment in time. Maybe over the past few days, you've felt restless without knowing why. Maybe you kept thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, someone who suddenly crossed your mind and refused to leave. Maybe you sense that someone around you is dealing with something hidden, something they haven't said out loud. Or maybe your heart simply felt heavier than usual, as if someone's energy was brushing against yours without permission. If that has been happening, you need to know this: it isn't random. It isn't oversensitivity. It isn't imagination. It is the universe whispering to you, through the ruling planet that guides your soul. Many people assume Sagittarius is strong enough not to need protection, but the truth is the opposite. You are strong because you know when to pause and listen. You are strong because you trust intuition more than fear. You are strong because you understand that light does not come from escaping the dark, but from recognizing it and stepping into it with a fearless heart. That is a kind of strength no other sign carries, a rare blend of truth, compassion, and courage. And it is that very blend that is pulling you towards someone who needs you now. In your chart, the 12th house and the 8th house are being activated at the same time. This is the combination of what is hidden and what is approaching. Some astrologers call this expiration energy. I see it differently. I call it a reminder. Because when life lets you feel the danger someone else is facing, it means you've been given the opportunity to step into the role of light. And light isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it is a single, gentle question. Are you okay? Is something going on with you lately? Do you need me? People often think Sagittarius is carefree and only interested in their own adventure, but they don't know the truth. Beneath your bright, untamed exterior, there is the heart of someone who sees the world on a much deeper level. You don't just notice what's happening on the surface. You notice what's happening inside. In someone's eyes, in someone's breathing, in the sudden silence of a person who usually laughs. You are the one zodiac sign who knows that silence is also a message. And when that silence feels unusual to you, when something inside you stops for a moment, I want you to trust that instinct. If I asked you right now, is there someone who's been lingering in your mind? Someone you feel isn't okay, even though you can't explain why? Someone you keep thinking about, even though your own life is completely normal? If the answer is yes, that may be the person you are spiritually connected to at this moment. I cannot tell you who they are in your life. A family member, a friend, a coworker, or someone you once loved and drifted away from. But I know one thing with absolute certainty. Your soul has already recognized them. And if their name appeared in your mind the moment you heard these words, you don't need to question it. Years of working with Sagittarius have taught me a profound truth. People who carry light rarely realize how far that light reaches. You simply live as yourself, yet your very presence becomes an anchor for others who are far more fragile than they appear. When they are calm, they say nothing. When they are afraid, they hide it. When they are hurting, they smile. But the heart of Sagittarius hears it all, not through logic, but through the sincerity you naturally offer to the people you love. And I need you to remember this. Sometimes, the smallest action from you can shift an entire destiny. One question, at the right moment, one simple message, one quiet prayer, one moment of listening without judgment. That is how Sagittarius loves, not through grand gestures, not through dramatic declarations, but through the invisible language of the soul. If you can feel what I'm saying to you now, if you sense that you are standing at the edge of something much larger than your daily life, then leave a small affirmation to open the next layer of energy. Just write one line, but write it with your whole heart. I am ready to embrace my great destiny. Or, if you want to go deeper into this process, write, I want to know who needs me. When you write it, you activate a new current of energy, one that allows the truth to move closer to you. And the most important thing I want you to know right now is this. The signals you've been feeling are not meaningless. They are pointing toward a much larger story. A story that is about to unfold in the next part of this journey. Because the person who is in danger did not appear in your energy field by accident. Between you and them lies a karmic thread, an unfinished connection, a missing piece waiting to be placed back in its rightful position. And only Sagittarius, only a Sagittarius like you, can see what others cannot. If you want me to open the second doorway of this chart, just say one sentence, write the next part, and I will take you deeper into the energetic identity of that person, and the reason you are able to sense their situation so accurately at this moment. Sagittarius, as we step into this next layer of energy, I want you to slow your breath once more, not to tense up, not to worry, but to truly feel the waves moving through your sky. Because right now, the changes around you are not coming from the surface. They are not small shifts you can easily overlook. They are rising from someplace far deeper. A place only a few souls have the intuition to touch. But the Sagittarius heart hears it before anyone else. In your chart this week, one area is glowing like a lantern in the dark. Your 8th house. The 8th house is unlike any other. It isn't gentle like the 5th. It isn't logical like the 6th. And it isn't familiar like the 4th. The 8th house holds unfinished stories, hidden truths, and powerful transformations that the soul can no longer avoid. And right now, Your 8th house is being activated by Mars, the planet of action, impulse, ignition, and at times, conflict. When Mars steps into this space, it stirs every unresolved layer. Things others have been hiding become harder to contain. Emotions that were suppressed begin to rise. Choices made calmly before may suddenly carry consequences no one expected. And within your energetic circle, someone is standing very close to this vulnerable zone. Someone caught in a fragile moment, easily influenced, easily wounded by someone else's reckless action. The strange part is that you can feel this, not through information, not through anyone's confession, but through your own inner sensing. That raw, instinctive receptor that belongs only to you. Sometimes it arrives as a sudden heaviness in your chest, a quick chill moving through your heart, a quiet knowing that something isn't right. Sometimes it comes through someone's silence from a person you always believed was strong, and sometimes it comes through dreams, or a brief look from someone that you cannot decode. But you feel it anyway. Many people don't understand why the 8th house is associated with danger, but those who have lived enough life, those who have walked through their own shadows, know that the 8th house is not a storm. It is a classroom, a place where the soul learns its deepest lessons. When the energy of this house awakens, life does not always break someone. Sometimes it simply nudges their soul toward the light, a light they are too exhausted or too afraid to walk toward alone. And sometimes, that light comes from someone outside the story. Someone like you, a Sagittarius guided by Jupiter's truth and compassion. I want to share something with you. Something I've learned over many years of reading birth charts. Danger doesn't always come from dark forces. Most of the time, it comes from someone who has been carrying their pain for far too long, without saying a word. It comes from the person who stays silent again and again. It comes from the one who suppresses their emotions until their soul becomes fragile, almost glass-like. And when someone is deeply wounded, they can accidentally place themselves in a vulnerable situation, simply because they're trying to hold everything together on their own. Right now, the energetic threads around you point to someone exactly like that. Maybe it's someone you used to be close to. Maybe it's someone you don't talk to often, but you've been quietly watching from a distance. Maybe it's someone who has recently drifted into your life for reasons you can't explain. You may feel as if they need you, even though they haven't said a word. You don't see it with your eyes. You feel it with your soul. And if this resonates with you, I want you to know, this is not random. There is karmic connection between you and this person. An invisible thread that pulls two souls together when one of them begins to struggle. Not to create burden, but to complete a story that was never finished. With the 8th house rising so strongly right now, your sensitivity to other people's emotions is intensifying. One small comment might catch your attention. A shift in someone's eyes might stay on your mind all day. A sudden change in their behavior becomes a question you can't ignore. If this is happening to you, trust your intuition. It is working exactly as it should. Jupiter is guiding you. I understand, not everyone finds it easy to step into someone else's story. Sagittarius often prefers freedom, wide horizons, a life without emotional complications. But there are moments, rare, sacred moments, when the universe places you in the exact place, at the exact time, with the exact energy, because only you can see what everyone else overlooks. This is one of those moments. This is where your role shifts from independence to connection. You don't need to understand the entire world. You just need to reach one heart. And I want you to remember something important. Danger is not always disaster. Sometimes it is simply the doorway, the one a soul must walk through to enter the next chapter of their life. Your presence, your sincerity may be the guiding light that helps them move through this fragile stage. Sagittarius carries a rare gift. You heal not through grand gestures, not through dramatic actions, but through the quiet sincerity of your heart. When you listen without judgment, when you show genuine concern, when you offer one simple moment of kindness, you help someone far more than you realize. And if what I'm saying feels true for you, if it echoes something inside your chest, send a small signal back to the universe. A gentle gesture, even something as small as a like. Not for me, but as confirmation that your energy is aligned, that you are stepping into the frequency meant for you. You would be surprised how a very small action can open a very large doorway in your spiritual unfolding. Hold on to this feeling for a moment. You are standing at the threshold between truth and awakening. The person you're thinking about did not appear by accident. Their soul is sending out a signal. And you, the one listening to these words, you are the one being called to receive it. The next step in this journey will lead you to a much deeper question. Who is this person? And why are you connected to them so powerfully at this point in time? Sagittarius, if you're still listening right now, it means your heart has already recognized something. You may not be able to name it yet, but your soul is touching a very important point in this process. When the energy of the 8th house rises this intensely, it is rarely just a warning. It is a reminder that a person, a soul, a piece of your life story, is stirring in a lower vibration, and that vibration is reaching into your field, searching for a place to rest. Who is this person? Astrology doesn't always hand us a name, but energy always gives a clear outline. In more than 20 years of studying charts, I've seen one pattern repeat over and over. When Sagittarius is called, the person who needs them usually belongs to one of a few very specific soul connections. It might be someone who left your life long ago, someone you don't see often, someone you don't talk to every day, yet a thread between you still remains. A thread that does not need words to exist. A thread that does not require physical presence to stay alive. It only needs one moment, one sudden memory of them, one brief dream, one strange feeling when someone casually mentions their name. Some souls pass through our lives to help complete a lesson. And even when they leave the physical story, their energy does not disappear. So, when they face something too heavy to carry, they return to the vibration where they once felt safe. And that vibration is you. Or it might be someone who once helped you in a profound way. In Karmic astrology, there's a specific imprint recorded between souls. The one who lifted you when you were at your weakest will be energetically drawn to you whenever they face danger. It's not obligation, it's resonance. A karmic circle that opened long ago. And right now, you stand at the bright shoreline of that circle. Your energy is reaching them, balancing the part of their spirit that is trembling. There is also the possibility that this person is a family member, someone you believe to be strong, steady, unshakable, but who is actually hiding their fear. Often, the most responsible one in the family is also the one who stays silent the longest. They fear becoming a burden. They fear disappointing others. They fear admitting that something inside them is cracking. And those people are often the ones who need Sagittarius the most. Not to be rescued, but to be reminded that they are not falling apart alone. And sometimes, the person in danger is someone the world sees as powerful, the one everyone assumes is fine, the one who laughs loudly, speaks confidently, moves through life as if nothing could shake them. But you know better, don't you? Sometimes the loudest laughter is the soul's way of hiding the deepest noise. People like this rarely get truly seen, but Sagittarius sees them, not with intellect, but with that subtle spiritual sense inside your chest. You hear what others cannot, a faint, low sound, like something cracking under the weight of too many unspoken emotions. In more than 10 years of reading charts, I've witnessed a truth that appears in every family, every friend group, every community. Sagittarius is almost always the one chosen to receive the first signal, not because you're perfect, not because you're stronger than everyone else, but because you are sincere. You walk into people's lives without ulterior motives. You bring real light. And it is that light, that effortless, honest light, that draws wounded souls toward you when they are afraid, when their heart is breaking, when they don't trust anyone anymore, when all they have left is a tiny hope that someone out there might feel them. You are that person. Sagittarius has always been that person. The one chosen to sense, the one chosen to feel, the one chosen to stand at the boundary between darkness and light at exactly the right moment. Not to carry everything for others, not to fix anyone's life, but because your presence alone can remind someone that they are not alone in the universe. And I want you to understand something very deeply. When you step forward to help someone, you're not only seeing their story, you're also rediscovering a piece of light within yourself. Because light only truly lives when it is shared. Sagittarius never shines at their brightest when standing alone. You shine most powerfully when you become inspiration, when you become guidance, when you become the one who can speak the truth others are too afraid to say. This is the greatest human lesson the 8th house is offering you right now. When you feel something suddenly, when a person comes to mind for no reason, when your soul vibrates because of someone you can't explain, that is the moment you are being called into their story, not to fix everything, but to remind them that even in the dark, someone sees them, understands them, and is willing to stand with them. If any image or name appears in your mind as you hear these words, trust that your intuition is moving in the right rhythm. And if you want to send a clearer signal into the universe, you can gently leave a comment. It doesn't need to be long, just one small line, a response to the message the universe is sending you. I have heard the call, but you might be wondering, how do you know exactly who this person is? How do you tell the difference between true intuition and passing thoughts? How do you understand the karmic thread pulling you toward them at this moment? All of that, your chart already reveals. And in the next part, I will guide you directly into that energetic layer, where the identity of this person becomes clearer than ever. Sagittarius, there are moments when energy doesn't speak with words, yet it touches you so strongly that you cannot walk away from it. When someone in your soul network enters a fragile phase, the signs begin to appear in the quietest, softest, but most accurate ways. And only those with an open heart, a Sagittarius heart, can hear them. Maybe you've already started to sense it. Maybe in the past few days, you've kept thinking about someone you have no logical reason to think about. You're busy. Your life is full. Yet suddenly, their image appears in your mind, out of nowhere, not as nostalgia, not as memory, but as a calling, a gentle naming inside your thoughts, like their soul is trying to send you a message that words cannot carry across. And it doesn't stop there. You may start seeing repeating signs, a spiral of synchronicities drawing your attention. 111, 333. Moments that line up exactly when you were thinking of them. A sentence you overhear on the street, matching an unspoken feeling inside your chest. An old song you haven't heard in years, suddenly playing at the exact moment you're trying to understand what's happening within you. These are not coincidences. This is the language of the universe. And Sagittarius, more than any other sign, you are the one who was born to understand it. You may even dream of someone 3 nights in a row. The dreams don't need to be clear. Their presence alone is enough. Because the soul often speaks at night what we are too overwhelmed or too distracted to hear during the day. When someone truly needs you, dreams become a bridge between 2 layers of awareness. They don't come to frighten you. They appear to remind you that someone out there is crying out in silence. Or maybe you've been feeling a quiet, shapeless anxiety in your chest. Even though your life is fine, everything is functioning the way it should. Your work, your family, your health, nothing is wrong. And yet, there is a subtle emptiness inside you, a restlessness you can't name. That feeling doesn't belong to you. It comes from another soul, reaching toward you through the energetic field. And because you are Sagittarius, born with a natural intuition guided by Jupiter, you feel it more intensely than most people ever could. It's also possible that the person who needs you right now is a family member. Someone who usually laughs, talks, shares, but suddenly becomes quiet in a way that feels different. They don't show sadness. They don't explain what's wrong, but something deep in their eyes makes your heart fall still for a moment. That silence is not meaningless. It is the signal of a soul trying to hold itself together. And that soul is turning toward the light they believe you carry. When you feel things like this, dear Sagittarius, it is never a coincidence. In astrology, when the 8th house and the 12th house are activated at the same time, Sagittarius becomes an antenna for the unseen. You hear the call no one else hears. You sense the disturbance others ignore. You see the fear hiding behind someone's smile. None of that is a burden. It is a gift your soul was entrusted with. Because you are the one who uses truth to soothe. The one who opens the path with sincerity. The one who turns light into understanding for others. And I want you to absorb this slowly, deeply. When a soul calls you toward a memory, it is because the rest of their story needs you. Not because the story is unfinished, but because it is unhealed. And for reasons only the universe understands, they chose you. Your sincerity, your light, your ability to listen in the right way. You don't need to guess who they are. Just listen to the vibration inside your chest. The first person you think of, that is the one whose energy is reaching for yours. You have felt them. They have sent the signal. And the universe is using your precise intuition to bring the two of you closer at exactly the right moment. If a name, a face, a memory, or even a feeling appears in your mind right now, trust it. Honor it. You may write their name down if you feel ready. It isn't just a comment. It is an act of acknowledgement. A message to the universe that you have heard the call. And sometimes, a small act like that can open a very large door, a door leading you toward the truth your soul has been waiting to see. You can simply write, "I thought of someone." Or, if you want to name the energy clearly, you can write their actual name. By doing that, you take the first step in this energetic process. A process the next part will take you deeper into. Why they need you, and what you must understand to protect your own energy in this phase. Sagittarius, when we speak of danger, most people immediately imagine something dramatic, something dark, heavy, extreme. But astrology, in its deepest essence, talks about subtle movements within the soul. Long before they become events in the physical world, danger is not always disaster. It is not always chaos exploding out of nowhere. Sometimes, the real threat to a soul is what happens in silence, in the fears no one sees, in the impulsive decisions a person makes, when their heart is too exhausted to think clearly. When Mars activates your 8th house, while Neptune stirs your 12th house, you stand inside a dual energetic field that very few people can navigate safely. Mars is the flame, action, impulse, sudden reactions that can push someone into mistakes. The 8th house is the chamber where deep changes begin, where hidden shadows rise, where emotional pressure builds quietly until something must break. When these two forces collide, what you're sensing is not imagination. It is a warning, a signal, a ripple in the energy field that only you were meant to feel. Neptune in the 12th house carries an entirely different shade of energy. It stirs up everything that drifts beneath the surface of the mind, the things no one ever speaks out loud, the unnamed pains, the hidden fears, the half-formed emotions. It is the energy of blurred dreams, of misunderstandings, of someone believing something simply because the truth feels too overwhelming to face. And when the 12th house opens this widely, you'll notice the people around you becoming more sensitive, more reactive, more easily swayed by someone's words or emotions. And it's the combination of these two realms, your 8th house and your 12th house, that paints a very clear picture. Someone around you is reaching a limit they no longer have the clarity to navigate. They can't express it. They may not realize it. They may still think they are in control, but their soul is shaking. And you, Sagittarius, are the one who feels it the strongest. Maybe they're trapped in a deep misunderstanding with someone. A misunderstanding that, if not eased soon, could create a silent distance between people who should trust one another. Maybe they're facing a quiet conflict no one else knows about. Not loud, not explosive, but slowly burning through their peace from the inside. Maybe they're about to make an impulsive decision, one emotional moment that could cost them for a long time. Maybe they're experiencing hidden financial stress, keeping it secret because they don't want others to worry or think less of them. Or, on an even deeper level, they may be facing a health concern they don't know how to confront because they fear becoming a burden. And all of this, you cannot see with your eyes, because the Sagittarius heart does not operate through fear. It operates through intuition, through energy, through the light Jupiter placed inside your soul the day you were born. You may not know the details. You may not see the full story, but you can feel it. You know something is shifting. You know someone is unsteady. And you know you cannot ignore it. In many spiritual traditions, especially in Western cultures, there is a belief that God does not always send warnings through thunder or storms. He sends them through the hearts of the most intuitive, gentle, sincere souls, so they can recognize what others overlook. And you, Sagittarius, are exactly that kind of soul. He does not speak into your ears. He speaks into your heart through a brief moment of unease, a sudden worry with no explanation, a gentle push telling you to look at someone one more time. If you've ever wondered why you care so deeply, why someone else's emotions sit inside your chest, why you feel tension that isn't yours, the answer is simple. The light inside you was built to be a guide. You're not the type to intrude. You value your freedom, your open sky, your quiet independence. But this time, you may need to turn around. You may need to look toward the place where someone has quietly fallen behind. You may need to become the road that leads a wandering soul back to themselves. This isn't responsibility. This is invitation. A gentle invitation from the universe to be present when others are lost. And the beautiful part is, you don't need to do anything grand. Sometimes, your presence is already enough. Sometimes all you need to say is, "Are you okay?" Sometimes, listening, without judgment, without rushing to fix, is the exact moment that saves them. You might not know what you're saving them from, but I promise you this, your soul knows. And you've already felt the pull. You've already heard the call. In the next part, I'll help you understand who this person is, why their energy is tied to yours so intensely, and how you can step into this story without losing your own peace. But first, dear Sagittarius, once you've seen the signals, once your heart has trembled because of someone, the next question is always the same. What should you do? How do you step toward them without hurting yourself, but also without abandoning someone who truly needs you? No one can answer that question for you, but your chart can. And the first thing your energy is asking from you now is honesty. No avoiding. No pretending you don't feel something. No telling yourself, it's probably nothing. Sagittarius was born under Jupiter, the planet of truth. Your nature is not to run from truth, but to face it head on, even when it makes you nervous. Because for Sagittarius, truth is never the enemy. Truth is the compass. It points you to where you must go, and it reveals who truly needs your light right now. You might fear that if you reach out, if you ask, someone will think you're interfering in their business. But sometimes, silence isn't respect. Sometimes silence is the door that closes, right in front of the person who needs you the most. And in this moment, what that person truly needs is not distance, but a gentle question, a soft presence, a small act of care, just big enough to let them know they are not alone. Talk to the person who's been on your mind, but speak with the softness of the ninth house. The ninth house is your realm, Sagittarius. Truth without judgment, honesty, wrapped in kindness, directness that never wounds. When the ninth house opens, Sagittarius becomes the one who can say the hardest truths with the gentlest voice. You don't need to ask, "Are you in danger?" You don't even need to mention fear. Just one simple sentence, "Have you been okay lately?" is enough for their soul to open. People who are hurting don't need heavy questions. They need a safe place to breathe. And your heart, Sagittarius, is that safe place. But maybe the most important thing you can do right now isn't out there in the world. It's inside you. In the stillness you give yourself at the end of the day. In the quiet space where your own spirit rests. In the small moments of prayer or meditation. Something deeply rooted in American spiritual culture, where connecting to the higher power is not ritual, but return. 7 minutes each night, just 7. Close your eyes, hold their name gently in your heart, and send one blessing. It doesn't need to be poetic. It doesn't need to be long. Just one line, "Please protect them." You would be shocked by the power of a sincere prayer. There are moments when the human heart cannot generate strength on its own, but the energy you send helps them stand one more day, one more breath, one more step. And then comes the final step, perhaps the most important of all: trust your intuition. Sagittarius carries a gift that not everyone has. Your first feeling is almost always the right one. The first name that appears in your mind, the first image that flashes across your memory, the first uneasy feeling that rises in your chest. These aren't random thoughts. They are the guidance of Jupiter. When you feel something the first time, that feeling is the truth being handed to you. Real intuition doesn't shout. It doesn't pressure you. It doesn't scare you. It whispers, and you, with the soul of someone who has lived many lifetimes, hear that whisper faster than anyone else. You don't need to overthink it. Just trust the first pulse of your heart, because on the Sagittarius path, logic is the torch, but intuition is the road. And when you walk the road of intuition, you never walk alone. You walk with the support of the sky. And right now, all Jupiter is trying to say to you is, trust what you already felt. You know. In all the stories I've witnessed through the years, the moment that moves me most is never the moment a Sagittarius loves someone. It's the moment they realize that by helping someone else, they are healing themselves. When you walk towards someone who is standing in the dark, your light doesn't just reach them. It returns to you. It reminds you of who you are. It reminds you of how strong you've always been. It reminds you of what you were born to do. And maybe this is what you need to remember now. You cannot save the whole world, but you can save one heart. And sometimes, that is enough. Enough to rewrite a story. Enough to soothe a soul. Enough to create a light that spreads farther than you could ever imagine. You might still wonder, am I capable of this? Am I imagining too much? Should I stay quiet instead of reaching out? But Sagittarius, the guidance you're receiving is not born from fear. It is born from truth. And truth always opens the path. Truth will never send you to the wrong person. Truth will never place the wrong story in your hands. Truth will never lead you into someone's life unless your heart is meant to be there. In the next part, I will take you deeper into what happens once you listen to this calling, how the energy shifts, what unfolds next, and the doorway waiting for you when you follow what your soul is whispering. Sagittarius, if you've stayed with me to this point, you've already felt something opening inside you. Not because of my words, not because of analysis, but because your heart recognized something. There is a very specific stillness that appears only when a soul is being called. The stillness not of calm, but of realization. The understanding that you are standing at a threshold that someone else cannot cross alone. Throughout the years I've spent reading birth charts, sitting with countless souls, watching people break, heal, rise, and return. I've learned something sacred, something that still moves me every time I say it out loud. No one ever walks into this journey by accident. No one wanders into intuition, into awakening, into the calling of the universe. Everyone arrives for a reason. And with Sagittarius, that reason is always bigger than the self. Other signs may seek answers because they're afraid, because they're confused, because they can't see the road ahead. But Sagittarius steps into the universe's messages, not to ask, what must I do to stay safe? You come to ask, what must I do to protect someone else? That is the clearest sign of a soul that has matured through many lifetimes, a soul that understands. Light is not meant only to guide your own path, but to guide the hearts, still struggling to find their way out of the dark. And that is why, when the universe calls your name, it's not favoritism, it's recognition. Recognition that you are strong enough to support others. Recognition that you hold enough light to lead the way. Recognition that you have survived the darkest places of your own life and risen high enough to help others walk out of theirs. Ordinary souls don't receive callings like this. They're not ready yet. They're not deep enough yet. But you are different. Sagittarius, you might not fully see your own worth. You might think you're simply listening to someone's pain, simply caring, simply showing up. But in truth, your soul is also being called back to a very ancient part of yourself, the part made of wisdom, of healing, of the kind of strength that supports others, without losing its own shape. When you pause to care for someone, you are also being elevated. When you agree to show up, you are also being guided. When you hear the calling, it isn't only because they need you. It's because you are stepping into a new chapter of your own evolution. Few people understand this, but those who have walked far on the spiritual path know it well. When you help another soul in their storm, your soul crosses a bridge you would never have had the courage to cross alone. That's why you're receiving this calling now. This is not only their story, it is also yours. A story in which you grow stronger, deeper, brighter. And amidst all these movements, there is only one thing the universe asks of you now: to listen. Not with the mind, not with analysis, but with the quiet place inside you, where intuition and grace meet, where truth and faith intertwine. If you're listening from that stillness, you already know. You are not here just to hear this story. You are here to become a part of the transformation. If these words are making your heart tremble, if you feel something large approaching you, if you sense responsibility rising inside you, without anyone asking, then that is the clearest sign. You've heard the call. Not a call from me, not a call from fear, but a call from the universe itself. The one T and only S. Win it, to lift. Oh, if you feel this is your mission, if these words touch the deepest part of you, if you know you're no longer listening with your ears, but with your heart, I ask you to leave one affirmation, just one sentence, but it holds the power to unlock a doorway your soul has waited years to enter. I have heard the call of the universe. When you write those words, you are not merely sending a signal, you are stepping into the journey that the next part of this message will reveal. What happens when you accept this calling, and why this moment is the destiny-marked turning point for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, everything you've just walked through is only the surface of something much greater. The signals you're feeling, the truths your soul is beginning to recognize, are just the first pieces of a picture the universe has been preparing for you for a very long time. Because behind the person who is in danger, the one you are being called to support, something else is unfolding. Something subtle, but powerful. There is a force standing behind you, protecting you, holding you upright, strengthening you as you move through your own inner thresholds. In the next video, I will take you deeper into that secret. Who is quietly protecting you? Why was your soul chosen to hear signals no one else can hear? And why this exact moment, not earlier, not later, is the opening of your next spiritual doorway? The answers are waiting ahead. And when you see the full picture, you will understand why every feeling you've had lately was never random. If you want to continue this journey with me, all you need to do is stay open, stay present, stay willing to step closer to the truth your soul has been waiting to see. And if what you heard today meant something to you, if it touched you in any quiet corner of your heart, leave a small signal, a like, a share. Sometimes that simple act becomes a flame that lights the way for others who are also searching, also listening, also hearing the same calling you're hearing right now. Stay with me, because the next chapter will reveal what the universe has been trying to tell Sagittarius alone.